right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Once again, we are back again. My name is Elisa Scott. I am part of the Elite Insurance Group. So happy to have you all join us once again. Today, we are going to deep dive and talk about a subject that, man, it's something else when it comes down to being an insurance agent, especially if you are a broker and then an entrepreneur or business owner. So the schedule is real, y'all, and the schedule is crazy. So let's dive into it. Um, man. So I talk about all the time how I just don't have enough hours in the day, right? And then I'll turn around and pile three or four more tasks on top of my schedule. I guess I made some hours somewhere. I don't know. But you know, what I have had to come to learn, and you ladies, jump in, tell me how you feel about this as well, though. Like when you are your own boss or your entrepreneur, you still have a boss, right? And it's your schedule. Here's the thing, though, you made that schedule. So there's some of us that will make a schedule like me and just have way too much on there. There's some of us that doesn't have much of anything on their schedule, right? And then there's some that has this great mixture and things really flow. So that's what I'm learning is how to have that realistic schedule. Let me say it like that. I think sometimes I set goals a lot, right? And I set high goals a lot, you know. Some of them I make, some of them I reach. Girl, barely got it. And some of them I fall really, really short. But I do think it has a lot to do with my schedule and how I run it. So I'm still learning. You know what I mean? It's a big learning curve for me. I spent 20 plus years as a restaurant manager. So even as a manager, though, I still had a boss, and that boss made my schedule. Then I had to work my life around that schedule. So that's what I became, accustomed to. So when I came into this industry, the insurance industry, and I became my own boss, I had to make my own schedule. Now I'm struggling a little bit. You know what I mean? Just trying to make sure that I don't have days where I'm not doing anything. But I have, and that's never now that I think about it. But I need to figure out how to make or have more of a balance. You know what I mean? On my schedule. So tell me, ladies, like, when it comes down to scheduling and you making your own, how do you do it? How do you do it?
Now, let's see, you want to go first or you want me to?
You go first, Michaela.
Well, for me, like, especially being an a new insurance agent, it's like you're balancing your life around your personal life, your clients, your team. And then after a while, it just feels like your world is just revolving around everyone else and it's not, and you just get lost in it. And I think for me, like I can do a schedule for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then I have to take a break and stop and evaluate my schedule and figure out, okay, is this making me tired? Is this stressing me out? Do I like it this way? Do I feel better putting this at the morning? Like I'm constantly adjusting and shuffling my schedule because when I get to a point where I start slowing down and kind of feel stressed or burnt out, I'm like, okay, yeah, something has to change because I shouldn't be feeling this way. So I'm always shuffling and I'm the same way. Like I'm always trying to stay busy and I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And then it's like at a certain point, your body just says, no, it don't matter how hard you try, your body's just not going to move anymore. And then it's like, okay, I'm to the point I'm burnt out. I just, your body's going to make you take a nap or sleep or just, I'll get back to it next week because you just can't. But it's just, like I said, it's crazy having your own schedule because, like I said, your schedule's still your boss and you're trying to listen to your boss, but sometimes you got to fire your boss.
Yeah, seriously. There you go. That's what I'm thinking. Like, yeah, I think I need to write myself up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hand me a nice big pink slip and be like, go back to the drawing board. You know what I'm saying? And try that again. Because what you just said you were gonna do ain't gonna happen, girl. You know what I'm saying? So tell me, Alyssa, give me some insights because like to me, like you seem like one of the most laid back that we have in the group. You know what I'm saying? and everything seems so,
Chill.
oh, bubbles and butterflies. But I know that you have just as hectic and as stressful as a schedule and a life as we do. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, let me tell you, the bubbliest people are probably the stressed people. I'll put that out there.
okay.
A big thing for me is consistency. When I don't have a good schedule and system going, I just kind of crumble. And it's so easy when you're doing your own schedule, especially starting out. Oh, I really can't. I can't handle that right now. I'll have to do that tomorrow, or I'll do that next week. It's way too easy. And then you go to put it in next week's schedule and you realize you don't have time for it next week.
Yeah.
So then you're squishing something else in, and you're going to be more stressed, next week than you would have been this week. So a big thing for me is consistency and just roundness. Everything to be nice and even, spaced out. I don't want to be doing something, the first half of the week and then the second half of the week, something totally different. So for me, it's really consistency.
I like that. That makes a lot of sense. And I know how does the old saying go? Why put off today? No, why put off for tomorrow what you can do today, right? Because
Mhm.
what you just said, that hit hard. I almost felt attacked when you was like, I'll do it another day. And then I get to the other day and I got 12 things on that day. And I'm like, I can't get this one to go to next week. You know what I mean?
Why didn't
So
I do it yesterday?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I have stressed myself out over that alone before, y'all. So I
Mm,
totally understand exactly what Alyssa is saying. But I,
yeah.
I do. I feel like number one, I think some of us make the mistake of especially when we get into entrepreneurship, right? We feel sometimes like being busy 24/7 means we're being a boss.
Right.
And it doesn't. It does not mean that. I have to keep reminding myself of that as well, too. You know what I'm saying? Because, I've told you all in the past, I feel like if I ain't busy, I'm a bum.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When that's not necessarily true. Because seriously, I have found myself sometimes running off fumes. So how good of an insurance broker, a team leader, a wife, how good am I at anything when I'm running on fumes? Like, I don't know if I'm coming to quit sometimes. So, and another good point I like Michaela saying, and I wish that I had, and I never really thought about it, was going back every couple of weeks, yeah, and just reevaluate your schedule and look and say, well, okay, is that just something that's there to take up a time slot, or is it really important to take on? You know what I
Mhm.
mean, as a task. So
Exactly.
I love that you pointed that out. I feel like every 2-3 weeks, yeah, maybe we do need to sit down,
Yep.
right, and look at our schedules and say, okay, this meeting right here, I don't have to
Hmm.
be at every day
Right.
or
Exactly.
every week. This task right here can be delegated. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? To someone else. Or this right here was just busy working. I'm about to just cross it all the way off. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if I ever have a time where I'm bored, which as an entrepreneur is hardly ever, where
Right.
you don't have something to do, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
If I get bored, then okay, then I'll do this right here. You know what I mean? Which most likely I'll never do because I'm never bored. I got enough stuff to do. But the schedule is
Exactly.
crazy, y'all. It's
Yes.
now what I do love, especially about this team, there are some times where you find yourself in a situation like what we're in, because we're all bosses. We're our own boss. We're brokers. We got a lot, that's going on. We could have it to where nothing's on our schedule at all, because we
Right.
do have that. We got that choice too
Hmm.
now, because we don't
Exactly.
have anybody we got to clock in for. No
Yeah.
one says that your shift starts at this time and ends at that time,
Right.
right? So one thing I do love about this team, I don't have anyone on my team that has a blank schedule
Yeah.
and nothing to do. Then that's a whole nother problem.
A whole nother problem.
Yes, because like what type of boss are you and you got a blank schedule? Like what is your business? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Keeping white paper? Like what is the real deal here? So, we don't have that, but I do. I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes, and I think it is the entrepreneurial spirit that we all have.
Hmm.
I think it's the hungriness that we have to where, yes, I feel like sometimes we have a jam-packed schedule, and I don't want us all to burn ourselves out,
Yeah.
right? There is a such thing as work-life balance.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of places or jobs or businesses that claim that there isn't a such thing, and when it really is. Like, you don't have to give up family totally to be a successful business owner. You don't have to do that. There are some times where, yes, you will have to tell family, well, on this day and this time, I can't do that because, you know what I mean? You got something going on for business, but you shouldn't have to tell them that for everything, right? You know, you don't have to miss everything. You got to miss everything when you work somebody else's job, because
Right.
they tell you whether you can be off or not. You
Mhm.
got to ask for time off. You know what I mean? And if you're the newest person in that department, most likely you gonna miss. You can't get off yet. I got Sally been here for 5 years and never took a day off, and you've been here for 2 weeks asking for a vacation. You know what I'm saying? So, but we have the option to be able to make a work-life balance, and I want to encourage that. Like, I try to lead by example, and I know I fall short sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But I also want to set a better example to show you guys that seriously, that's a thing. Work-life balance is a thing, and I want us to all have it. Like,
Exactly.
what's the point of us starting a business and coming to be our own bosses and we're not enjoying a bit of it?
Right.
Because money isn't everything.
Exactly.
Like, I've been on jobs. Like I said, I spent 20 plus years in restaurant management. I had all the money in the world, but guess what? I ain't never get spent. That's probably why I kept money though, because I was at work all the time. Where am I spending? You know what I'm saying? I also
Exactly.
miss all of my kids growing up too. I have no idea what they did in school. They graduated, and I was like, "How'd you do that?" You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never seen you do homework and no books. They like, "Well, you ain't never here, so how could you see me do homework? You're never home." You know?
Right.
So, you know, I don't want that life anymore. Thank goodness my kids are grown and gone, but I got grandkids now. I don't want to miss the same stuff that I
Yeah.
did with my kids because I'm at work all the time. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't want that for, for any of you.
And I
So,
think that's a good point about the money, especially being an entrepreneur. Like, your focus is so heavy on money that everything else takes a back seat. And I know, like, one of the things, like, for me that's important is the mind, body, and spirit. And it's like sometimes I get so, I gotta make this money, I gotta make this money, that I don't exercise, because in the past few weeks I have not exercised like I told myself I was supposed to do. I'm not eating healthy because I'm so stressed. Half the time you don't even eat. You
there
just
you go.
going throughout the day. And then you're like, oh yeah, I haven't ate today.
Yeah,
Let me
seriously.
get back to eating.
Yeah, right. Do
But
you have
it's
those days
crazy.
too, Alyssa? Do you find yourself where some of the stuff that you promised yourself you're putting off or not doing because of, just simple by the hectic schedule? Like, do you find
Yeah.
yourself in that predicament too?
Yes, even if what frustrates me is like I could have nothing the whole first part of the day, but I can't go anywhere because I gotta start making calls at 3 o'clock.
Wow.
Yep.
Another thing that I think is really, really important is to have a set time when you were done.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
you just keep going and you're halfway in the rest of the night. If you say
Yes.
you're going to be done making calls at 6 and that you're having dinner at 6:30, then that's what you need to do because you need
Yeah.
a turn off button.
Right. That's true.
Can't just keep going and working through your sleep either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Won't give
Oh,
the restful feeling that you need to be
Exactly.
rested for the next day.
that's
Yes.
gold. That's gold what you just said. Seriously, because see, that's another mistake that a lot of us make as entrepreneurs. We don't have, and I think it's because we're used to, even if you never worked somebody's job, we went to school, right? We had to
Yep.
be in school at a certain time. We got out of school at a certain time too. If we
Mm-hmm.
played sports, we had to be at practice at a certain time, right?
Yep.
Practice was over at a certain time as well. We had games, they started at a certain time. You understand what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So we're
Yep.
still used to someone telling us when to start and stop. So
Exactly.
when we get in a position where we're telling us when to start and stop, we don't
Mhm.
ever tell us when to start or stop. We just tell us to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? So what you said, real
Oh,
talk, was gold. And to be totally honest, Alyssa, that's a issue that I have as well. I don't have a stop time.
yeah.
That's not fair. That's
Right.
not fair to me, or my husband, my friends,
Mhm.
my family, nothing. That's not really fair. So you
Yeah.
you said something then. We
Exactly.
gotta have and that's what I wonder, y'all. Why is it that we struggle with it. How is it we can go through our entire lives when somebody tells us what time to be there and what time we can leave, but then as soon as they say, okay, here you go, you're in control of that, we're like, you don't want
Right.
to tell me? You know,
Exactly.
how about you just tell me when to start and stop? Like,
And
why
I
do we struggle with that?
because we keep going so much because we're trying to reach these goals, especially as business owners. We have so many high goals, and we feel like if we stop, we're not going to reach that goal fast enough. And in reality, you're going to reach your goal when you're supposed to reach it. And we keep pushing as if it's going to happen right now. And a lot it just doesn't work that way.
I totally agree with that. What do you think, Alyssa? Like, seriously, especially since you brought up that golden nugget, because girl, like real talk, you said something then. Because I have to be honest, I never thought about it. I don't have an end time. I don't have an end time. And until you said it, I didn't realize I don't have an end time. That's so
Well,
crazy to me.
yeah, if I don't have an end time, then it makes me hard to get through what I'm doing because I could be doing this for the next 20 minutes, or I could be doing this until I go to bed.
Right.
Or and if I don't have an end time, then it makes me not want to put my all into it. And because I'm just kind of dragging through it, waiting for it to be over. So then it doesn't really get my full attention like it should. So
Mm.
that's why I say I need consistency and I need a schedule. That's why I saw a post on Facebook and it was like, you're little and you're like, don't tell me what to do. And then you grow up and you're like, okay, in chronological order, tell me exactly what I'm supposed to do. That's just growing up though.
Yeah. I mean, that's so true. That is so golden. I mean, for real, yes. We don't want when we're in a position where someone has to tell us what to do, that is the last thing we want. Until they're like, okay, you do it then. Like, no, tell me how to do it first. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes absolutely no sense at all. And I think too, when you start something, and like Michaela said, especially you start your own business, right? You got these high goals, and you feel like if you ain't pounding it out hours on end, you know what I mean, until you just pass out from exhaustion, you're never going to meet your goal.
Right.
Whereas, like Alyssa said, if we set a start and an end time, we'll probably get to our goal a lot faster.
Exactly.
Because now we're not running on fumes or just dragging it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll be so glad when I pass out. Like, you know what I mean? Instead of being like at 5:30 today, I'm not
Yeah.
even looking at my desk.
Mm-hmm.
My desk does not exist after 5:30.
Exactly.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I challenge this entire team and group to do.
Yeah.
Is to go in, number one, look at your schedule, take off some of that fluff, because I'm almost certain that all of us got some kind of fluff in there
Mm-hmm.
somewhere to where you can be like, this right here is really not important.
Yeah.
I'm about to just take it off. Like, there's no need of me even thinking about it anymore. And ooh, look at this. I got this day where I start at 8 in the morning and I
Right.
got stuff on my schedule all the way to 9 o'clock at night. That's so
Mm-hmm.
unreasonable. And if we had a boss that told us that we had to work from 8 to 9, and that's not what we agreed to when we when we went in that interview, we'd be ready to go off on him.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll sit up and schedule ourselves from 8 to 9 o'clock. Unreasonable.
Yeah.
Fire your boss. Sometimes you gotta fire your own self. You know what I mean? Like, seriously. Sometimes I look at my schedule and almost want to cry. But I know that my schedule looks the way that it does because of me. So, and I'm the only one that can fix it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So yes, I love some of the stuff that you guys have pointed out. Go in, reevaluate.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some things that you can take off. And yes,
Yeah.
definitely have a definite start time and have a hard stop time. Like Alyssa said, if I say I'm gonna make calls from 3 to 6, I'm starting at 3,
Mm-hmm.
and at 6, I'm done. Now I ain't saying, oh, you're in the middle of a conversation with a client. It's up 6 o'clock, quick. I'll call him back tomorrow. You know what I mean? But this is my last call. Not,
Yeah.
because I've done this before too, y'all. I'll say, okay, and I made my calls from 3 to 6. That very
Mm-hmm.
last call, right? I've made calls after calls after calls, and I got when either nobody answered or the few that did said not interested. And that very last one I made 5:55. They answered, they wanted, we set an appointment. I'll turn around and make another call after that.
It's like gambling.
Yeah.
There you go. Because I guess because my endorphins, you know what I mean, we're up now. Oh, I'm doing something now. But
Mm-hmm.
no, it's I was supposed to be moving on to the next task or going to
Right.
cook dinner or just sitting down for a minute and breathing,
Yes.
letting my mind rest. And instead I made another call because that 5:55 call ended up in an
Exactly.
appointment. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm dog tired. I'm looking up and it's 8 o'clock and I'm like, oh my God, I'm still on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to be done 2 hours ago. I didn't
Yeah.
listen to my own boss. I did not
Exactly.
listen.
And
So
then when you have that hard stop time, it allows you, like I said, to settle down and rest. And it's like, don't be hard on yourself for resting and having fun, because a lot of times we don't do fun things when we're busy all the time. We don't rest like we should. And we find if we rest and do things that we enjoy in there to have that balance, we'll have more mental clarity on what to do with our business and our, on how to move forward. Because a lot of times we just have a thousand things going on at the same time. We sleeping, all we dreaming about is this business and what we got to do tomorrow. And and we just don't turn off. And it's like, wow, we can't turn off.
I totally agree. And I saw you clapping and listen. That's obviously been days for you too. And I can see it. We kind of take it out on ourselves or
Yeah,
feel bad about not having fun and enjoying life.
exactly.
And at the end of the day, isn't that why we became our own boss though? So
Right.
no one else can control our lives. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So yeah, we just gotta. I gotta get out of that mentality. Bums take naps, like, cause I'm just like sometimes I'm just like I need a nap, but I'm like if I lay down, I'm a bum. What type of team leader would I be if I'm taking a nap? Like, what if one of my agents calls and they need help and I'm like I'm asleep? They gonna be like, oh girl, you ain't worth nothing. You know what I mean? Like I quit. I don't want to be on your team anymore. You sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's so funny. It is so funny. But
It's
yeah,
crazy.
we put a lot of stuff off too, y'all. And that's something else that I'm afraid of. Like I don't want, just like you were saying, Michaela, we don't eat right sometimes because we're
Mm-hmm.
so busy. We don't exercise. We
Yep.
need those types of things. That also brings clarity to the mind.
Exactly.
Like when I used to do yoga on a regular basis, I thought a lot more clearer than I do these days. Cause like sometimes y'all, it feel like I got a million and one ideas that are all just like this. And nothing's coming out clear. And I bet I probably talk in circles sometimes when we talk, and y'all are probably like, this girl, like are you still speaking English? I'm like, I don't know, I'm so sleepy, you know. but but we do. We got to take time out for ourselves. We do.
Mm-hmm.
And not
I
feel
do
bad
have
about
one thing.
it. Yeah.
Um, so one thing I've been trying to do, is every day I take about 30 minutes and I go outside,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because I need to know that it's daytime, not nighttime. I don't want to wake up, it's dark, and go to sleep and it's dark. You
Yes.
need that vitamin D. It is so
Yep.
good for you and your mental health. Just taking a walk or going outside just can refresh
Mm-hmm.
you so much. You have you know, a really hard meeting or something really bad, just happen and you're frustrated. Go outside 20
Yeah.
minutes. Just
I
just
love it.
refresh.
Mm-hmm.
You come
I
back in
love
and
it.
have a new mind.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. And I think, since we're talking about scheduling, put stuff on there, and it's weird too, y'all, because like here's something else that I had to learn to do. I put my lunch hour on my schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first started out with this business, I actually went by that. It was hard. Like I was like, like it's in red and everything. And I think I remember even telling y'all when you look on my schedule, if you see a red, don't call me. Like I'm taking my lunch.
Right.
I have not sat down and taken a lunch in the past like week and a half. I have to be totally honest. I'm going back to I'm scheduling my time for my lunch hour
Right.
just for me. Number one, to make sure that I'm eating right because I haven't been in the past, couple weeks. I haven't been eating right, right? I'm taking the advice of Alyssa. I'm about to put me a green spot on there where if I don't do nothing but go stand out on the porch for a couple
Exactly.
minutes, like and leave my phone all the way away
Yes.
from me to where if I
Away.
hear a ding or a ring, because see that's
Exactly.
another thing we fall victim to too, being our own boss. As soon as
That's
that
wrong.
phone go off, whoo,
Yep.
I don't want to miss
Exactly.
something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it'll kill us to miss a call every now and then. Like I really don't. I'm thinking we will be okay. You know what I mean? So I advise us all to take the advice of each other. Get
Yep.
some time in for yourself
Mm-hmm.
and put it on the schedule. If we're gonna go by our schedule and let that schedule beat us down and keep us committed to everything else, then we need to put some free time for ourselves on our schedule too. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just as important as the next task. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? That we have on there. And start at the time you say you're gonna start and stop at the time you say
Mm-hmm.
that you're gonna stop. And I'll probably be the one where y'all gonna sometimes have to be like, hey, I thought you said, yeah, you lied. You know what I mean?
Keep in
Yeah.
check.
Okay, exactly. Like, hey, I thought you said you were stopping at 5:30 today. It's 6:30. What are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, you're right.
And I
So,
think, like you just said, like as a team, it's
mhm,
like you can, when you're around each other enough, you start learning each other. And you can see when each other something's off or someone's not feeling good or they're just like, attitude is stressed or whatever. And I think it's important when you have a team to talk to each other and have those moments where you just come together, like, okay, girl, what's wrong? Are
yeah,
you okay? You want to vent? You know what I'm saying? Do we need to go out to eat to just relax for a minute?
yes,
Yes, let's do
yes,
it.
right,
Refresh.
exactly.
As a group, it livens us up too because we're
Yeah.
spending that time with each other. It's like this is what we need. We just need that girl time or that team
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I do. I feel like, yeah, because number one, not only does it help us keep each other accountable, but like you said, just making sure that we're all in the right mental space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you can be on a team and still feel all alone.
Yes.
And that's something that I never want for, for EIG. I don't want that. I don't want
Mhm.
anybody on our team to ever feel like you're tackling all this by yourself. Our whole purpose of coming together as this group was so that we all had some support in this thing because
Mhm.
it's hard out here, y'all.
It is.
Starting a business is hard. The insurance industry, as
Good.
lucrative as it is, but it can get stressful.
Yeah.
It's hard out here. And then we're a group of females in
Right.
a male dominated industry. You don't never hear anybody say the insurance woman. They always say
Exactly.
the insurance man. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying? And especially like in the big company that we're in, our umbrella company, it's 60% female. I don't know if you guys have realized that or seen it in some of the media, but we are 60% female. But you know why it doesn't come out that way? Because the guys, they come together and they stick together. We're
Hmm.
all out here trying to fight for our spots,
Right.
right? And forgetting about the next female instead of being like, hey, come, let's. That's why I wanted EIG to be something totally different as a
Right.
part of symmetry. You know what I mean? Than what
Mm,
anybody else has going on when it comes down to an agency.
exactly.
We're a group of females that really do support one another and want to see
Mhm.
each other win. And I totally agree. We do need to make a bigger effort as well to get together, even if it's like, once a month, just
Yep.
to have absolutely nothing to do with
Exactly.
clients, applications, questions, or calls. You know what I mean? Like just forget for that one evening that we even know what insurance is. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Just because we need to decompress sometimes. So
Yeah.
I appreciate everything and all the ideas that you ladies have, and I learn from you ladies daily. I truly do, and because I'm so used to being a one woman show, to have a
Mhm.
team now of people that are like, yeah, what do you need me to do? You know
Right.
what I mean? That's another reason why my schedule started out so crazy and still is because I told y'all before I have a hard time delegating because I'm not used to that. I never had that option before.
Yeah.
Now I have that option, and you guys just have to keep reminding me to stop thinking like a one woman show. You're no longer a one woman show. You know what I mean? We got a whole group of ladies over here that's well capable of doing things. Like,
Yeah.
please take that off your schedule because you're starting to go crazy and you're driving me crazy. I need that. So tell me final thoughts, ladies. What so we got some things moving forward, some goals that we're gonna set. Number one, clean these schedules up, man. Because these
Yes.
schedules are crazy, y'all. And And we know now that it's just because we're busy 24/7 doesn't mean we're going to reach our goals any faster, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So any, final or last thoughts when it comes down to this hectic and crazy schedule of being an entrepreneur?
Be intentional with your time.
Yeah. Take care
I
of
love it.
yourself. Because if you're no good, your business is not going to be any good. The people around you aren't going to be good. Like everything crumbles. Like one little thing can mess up everything. And we don't realize that. Like if we suffering, everything suffers. So
Yeah.
take care of yourself.
I love it. I love it. Y'all got some golden nuggets. I got the best team ever. Nobody has a team like mine, okay? I absolutely love it. Well, this is the Elite Insurance Crew. I am Elisa Scott here with Miss T and Miss Alyssa. The schedule is crazy, y'all, but you can do it. You can
Yeah.
do it. Well, once again, we truly appreciate you guys. Come back for more tidbits and topics that we love to discuss every other Friday. We're here just to let you know how to navigate through this insurance industry and how to be successful at it. Thanks a lot. Y'all have a great one.
Bye.